Welcome back to the Spyshack podcast, the podcast where superfans get together to talk about the latest episode of Survivor. And I'm back from my self-imposed exile. Well, as always, we're going to be getting together with Randy. And Randy, I wanted you to tell us what your word to describe this episode. No explanations.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing good. I'm going to go bizarre here. I picked my word to describe this episode is weasel.
And Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, and my word for this week is pissed.
Kim?
I don't think this will make sense, and I don't know if it's really one word, but strong arm.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use plain. Yeah, I wasn't, well, no explanations, right?
Oh,
no
wow.
Explanations, right? Yeah. So we'll get to we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. So we have Blake and we have Patty already in.
Yay!
The
Hi,
chat.
Patty. Hi,
How are you guys
Blake.
doing? Blake says potential wasting. Wait, he's cheating though by using two words, but we'll let it go. All right. So yeah, let's get into it, man. One thing I want to say before anything else, I stand by my picks. If it wasn't for Ghost Island, I think my picks would still be in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't been here to throw that in there, so I wanted to just make sure you guys knew that one. All right. So let's go back into the right after Tribal Council last week, and Bradley admits that he thinks he's going home. At least he's acting like he thinks he was going home. I think he's genuine. But what do you guys think of the interactions here?
I think he was genuine in saying that, but I think that was a mistake for him to say, because then honestly, Chelsea and Sebastian can see that he doesn't.
Wait a minute. Who?
Bradley.
No. Who were you talking about? Sebastian and who?
Hey, she did stuff.
Not Sebastian. Who?
We were nice to her last week, but let me continue. So yeah, but Bradley flat out admitted that he didn't believe that they were going to stick with him, which I think that's a mistake for Bradley to be so open about being so concerned.
Okay,
he should have been confident in his side.
I'm going to counter what you say. And if he would have been like, oh, I felt safe, I knew I was going to be fine, he could have come across as arrogant.
I agree. There's a way to say that we are 5 strong. Our 5 was sticking together. Not so much putting it on himself, but putting it on the 5.
Maybe he worded it wrong, but I think maybe the honesty of I was scared. What Michael said
I think that's
was justified. And I'm thinking it took one vote, one person to flip, and I was gone. I mean, it was a great, definitely great try by Michael. Still.
No, I agree. I understand what you're saying with the way Bradley said things. I just didn't like the way he said it, because I think that opens him up to kind of alluding to the fact that he doesn't trust his group fully. Yeah. And that's all. That's what I'm saying. But yeah,
you say that loan to Michael or something. You put Michael aside and go, man, you did good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really didn't think I was gonna stay. I think I was gonna go, whatever. But you don't tell to everybody, because then, like Randy says, you put a seed of doubt into the other players who this guy doesn't trust us. So
yeah, but I definitely don't think it did put any doubt, because no one said anything.
I don't either. But
it's not that it did. It's just that it might have.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, Bradley thinks he knows everything. So
we have Patty actually said the episode was mediocre, and we have Tressa who said snooze fest. And Bradshaw Beauty says useless. Tressa said snooze fest, and Bradshaw said useless. So I don't know if that means she means about the episode or about Bradley, or what he did. I'm not too sure. All right, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and get into, because right away I wanted to tell you guys last week, but since I wasn't here, I wasn't able to really say it. Do you guys feel like the editing and the way we're seeing the tribes this season is a little bit different, kind of throwing it back to the old way, but not completely?
Absolutely. I thought that until yesterday's episode. Sorry, because I watched it today. Yesterday's episode, because to me there was a lot of not knowing who was leaving and what tribe was going to win. But I thought this week was more obvious of who was going to win at tribal and who was going to go home. That's how I felt, at least.
Yeah, I think they're definitely showing the dynamics a little bit. The pacing of the episode's a little bit different. There are some things that are different. I just don't like the way that the previews and the commercials kind of allude to things a little bit more. And I don't know as much as that is Survivor as it is CBS, because CBS is the ones in charge of the commercials and I think they tend to give away a little bit more than they should, because you see scenes that are important that don't happen till after immunity. So you know that a certain tribe is probably going to go to tribal council.
Like last week?
Yeah, that's past 2 weeks. Past two episodes have been that way. I have liked the pacing of the episodes, though. I really liked that they haven't fully telegraphed who was going home every episode. Because this episode, we had 3 legitimate chances for people to go home. And even though it was a very one-sided thing, I thought it was still very exciting, the whole episode of which of those 3 was going to go home. So I think I'm the only person that liked this episode.
I didn't dislike it. It just was basic for me.
I think
there was no excitement when you see who wins the immunity. You knew it was just going to be a boring tribal. There was no excitement for me. And I like the excitement of not knowing at all who might go.
There's a big difference between, we'll get into it more later, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we got off track here because I was we jumped over to reward, and I think we started seeing it last week where we just jumped right into reward or the next challenge. Yeah. And what do you guys think of this challenge?
Yeah, I thought
the tables, pull berry lever.
Yeah, this one was pretty easy. Yeah, they jumped over the tables and they had to pull a buried lever, collect and throw the sandbags at the target. The winner got coffee and pastries and get to send someone from the losing tribe to Ghost Island. I thought it was a fun one. It was pretty close throughout for the most part. And then Chris just dominated.
Oh, he was just phenomenal.
Did we know that he was a baseball player?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know.
He talked about it in his preseason stuff.
Oh, did we?
that he played both. I think it was baseball and it was either basketball or football. He was a 2-sport athlete, but I don't remember what the other sport was. But I do have a problem with, I've never really heard someone use the phrase "throw the rock." I think that is a pretty douchey term to use.
That was
I've heard it, but I don't use it.
Yeah, that's why Jeff's like, "And what does that mean?" But all cool points that Chris earned from that, he immediately lost when he tried to rap.
I don't care. I'm gonna be alone. I like Chris.
I don't mind Chris, but when he tried to rap, he lost it.
I think he was just trying to be funny, like saying all these stupid scenarios that were funny for me.
He's a male rapper. He raps.
Yeah.
He that's what he does.
I think that he gives me enough, like, what's it called? Not evil. What's the word I want?
Villain.
Yeah, he gives me villain enough to like him. He's not too much of a complete douche.
Oh, I don't.
I think he's playing a pretty decent game.
For someone who doesn't know the show, he's doing well.
Yeah. 100% for not knowing.
Well, remember, he hadn't watched the show, but then he binged all the seasons, didn't he?
I would sure hope anyone would do that once they get cast.
I think James did that, but I think Chris at least binged a bunch of seasons.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he's able to kind of figure it out. And it might not be in the same fashion or the same line as someone who's been a super fan for all these years, who's seen every single episode live and gone back and revisited some of these. But I think He's a lot better player than I gave him credit for at the beginning.
Yeah, me too.
We also have to keep in mind that 15 days into the game, he's the only person not to go to tribal, and if he would have gone to tribal, he may have gone home already.
Yeah.
He's the only person in the game that hasn't been.
Which is why I say
I think that
I say my picks should be there still.
Yeah,
he's good enough, and he doesn't try to come across like another player. I hate when people say, I'm going to be the Boston Rob, I'm going to be the Tony, just be you.
He doesn't know who those people are. So
No, but I like that. I like it better because he's just playing Chris's game.
Chris's only issue is Dominic. If he can separate from Dominic and really get away from him and play their own games from each other, Chris would be fine. The only negative we have going on right now with Chris is because of Dominic.
But I think the tribe likes Chris better than Dominic. Because I think Chris tries a little harder to, even if he's faking it, to be a friend.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that part right now because I have something to say about that. But winner gets coffee and pastries, and this is the only time we actually see Dominic in this particular episode. I'm pretty sure to Kim's pleasure, is when he's just saying "dig in" or whatever like that, and that's pretty much all we saw for this episode. I kind of missed him because he's my favorite player so far this season, and he's my number one pick too. But this is where I guess we get to see a little bit more of them, and then we go back to Ghost Island. Do you guys mind that they're just letting it go to rocks each single time, or?
I guess
we're gonna agree. So
yeah,
but they're not even right now. I don't think they're even trying to agree. They're just like, just go to rocks.
And I think it's fine. I kind of like the randomness of it. I think Ghost Island is a problematic twist in the game and the general structure of it. I think it's pretty crazy that we've been there 5 times and 3/5 of the time nothing has happened. Like that people haven't even had a chance, and then one time someone had a chance and they didn't take it.
Yeah.
I want to also say about how I feel about how Ghost Island is working out. I think it's just going after the reward challenge is pointless. It adds nothing to the game. You were not strategically making a play by saving someone on purpose, so because they might be a target. They're going there, they're maybe getting something, and that's it, and eating rice.
Well, see, that's where I don't get the whole letting it go to rocks, because you would want to try to act like you're not aligned with somebody on the other side, and then want to send them to, so hopefully they'll get something so that you can use later on. So there's always workarounds and hacks that people come around. Like, let's say when Redemption Island came around, they even Tyson, Ozzy found a way to use Redemption Island to serve their purpose.
Absolutely. And I don't know. We fought on this quite a bit last week. I still am fine with the change of putting it here, Ghost Island here in the game. If Kellen or if Stephanie would have had walked away from Ghost Island with some sort of advantage or some sort of disadvantage, that shifts the game. That's a big shift in the second half of the episode. So I think we're being results oriented and saying that
be right.
Just because those two it didn't work, I think there is potential for it to really shift the game. But really, all we've seen from Ghost Island is it's go there, cry, and eat a bunch of rice. Like that's what Ghost Island's been.
Or Kaylin goes and plays and loses, and then
that's what goes home. Disadvantage. Yeah. It completely changes the game.
I'm going to agree with Randy there that maybe if there was something that changed the game, we'd appreciate it more. Yeah, but because nothing is happening, I don't know. And we didn't get to ask Saul this, so I want to know what he would have done if you were Kellen. Would you have taken the advantage and risked the loss of a vote, or would you have not?
Knowing the way the numbers are and the way it happened with the other tribe, with Nvidia losing a member, I would not have. I would have loved to, but I would say no game wise, because if I do choose the wrong bamboo, and that's all it is, it's just choosing one of 2 bamboo shoots, and you lose your vote. And yes, the upside is that you get a great advantage. Well, we don't know what the advantage is. It might be another type of legacy type where you have to give it away, and then what do you do? And the other thing is that you end up not being able to vote, and Bradley goes home. You're one of your alliance members.
Yeah.
And now I would have loved for something like you show up, and I actually wrote it in the chat last week, is that you show up and you have to play a game against like Cochrane, or you have to build a fire against Ozzy, or something like that, or just something random, someone just random like that, and then that's the game you play, rather than just choose one or two.
Yeah, I was very shocked that we didn't see a game this week, especially since Kellen said no. I thought that basically guaranteed that was going to roll over to this week, but I guess not. But
I mean, the urns, I think they were set there like at the beginning of the season, and once you saw that there was a game for Kellen, that it's I'll kind of assume coming into this week that there wasn't going to be a game. So
I would have thought they would have carried it over since she said no.
Now we don't know what that advantage was.
Yeah.
So I would have liked it. I'm pretty sure Stephanie would have used it because she is in a, she needs to survive, so she would have done it.
Yeah, she would have.
Yeah, it was disappointing that Stephanie didn't have anything, because it would have been nice to see what she could have done to save her game.
So earlier, Blake had pointed out something. How would you guys feel if they bring back the Ghost Tribe, like the Outcasts on Pearl Islands? There were a lot of great people who have been voted out already, and it would match the season. And actually, I believe that was the original intent of Ghost Island. Was that not, or something similar to this? Do you guys remember?
I missed what you said at the beginning.
The Outcast twist on Pearl Islands, bringing it back for Ghost Island. Wasn't that the original thought of Ghost Island?
The original pitch was similar.
Yeah, so
Outcast, it was. We don't need Outcasts.
I'm trying to see if there's anything in the chat room that I wanted to bring back up. So I think more people are trying to agreeing with me that said playing with the edit, but I didn't dislike the episode, Randy. Just I liked the episode. I just thought it was a little, compared to the other episodes, I think it was a little bit slower. All right, guys. So, anything that you guys want to bring up about Ghost Island and Stephanie?
Nothing really happened. We can move on.
Yeah.
I do like how every single person goes to Ghost Island gets a little moment, though. I have liked that. It gets back to trying to I guess know them, rather than just being robots in the game.
Yeah, I like the character moments that we're seeing from people.
All right, so after that, we go to immunity. Actually, no, we missed a little part here where
we go back
Jonathan.
We go back to the Navidi tribe where they're just celebrating with their pastries and their coffee.
And Jonathan has a little bit of a breakdown. And didn't understand what Jonathan said here. I thought he had said Ghost Island made me really reminded me of home. I'm like, wait, why did he say Ghost Island? And he said those items.
Yeah.
But it's a little hard to understand sometimes. So Chris, this is what I want to talk about. Chris goes and connects with him, but he does it as a game move, which is fine. So I don't know.
Wait. I want to first touch on Laurel connecting with him, which I thought was really great. You saw that it was genuine, and Laurel is playing, I think, a great game. I have to give that to her. And I believe that Donathan's emotions were real, because I have triggers over little things. And then, hold on, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'll go ahead. I agree. I think Laurel's been great. I think the relationships that she is building has been strong, and they've been real. And I think that I really like what I'm seeing from Laurel on the physical side of the game, on the strategic side of the game, and the social side of the game. People see that she is strong in challenges because they keep putting her in all it's like 3 guys and Laurel doing something heavy or something like that.
Yeah, Laurel's playing a great game.
She's great. But then also I don't think people understand or are seeing the strategic side of her yet. And that's great for her.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's great. And now I want to touch on Chris. I think Chris was going there, of course, I need to bond. I need his vote or whatever. But I do believe when he did hear what Donathan's story was, that there was some type of connection where he did completely understand what he's going through. Because I didn't know I didn't know Chris's mother was in assisted living and that he had to give her medicine at 15. That has to mess with your psyche when you're taking care of your mother when you're a child.
Yeah, I think the reason he went to talk to Donathan was for a strategic reason, but everything in the conversation and every emotion that he had was 100% real and genuine.
Yes, I agree. It was a nice moment.
Yeah, it was.
Donathan saw that as a genuine moment. I wonder how other people are going to see it, as if is he really trying to connect with us, or is he doing it more out of a sense that out of a game move? So I wonder how that's going to balance out. And let's say at the end of the day, Dominic and Chris come up here. I think more people are going to, well, depending, I guess, who it is, might side with Dominic, the feeling that he's more genuine. However, if Chris is able to connect with the certain people with a direct connection, that might help Levin out, just like Donathan.
But I think that was it Wendell or James that said that they would rather work with Chris over Dominic. One of them said
James.
It was James.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Dominic is too loud and too much in your face, and Chris is obnoxious, but he's not loud.
But James has also been purposefully left out of the Laurel, Donathan, Dominic, Wendell alliance. James has not been keyed into that. Laurel and Donathan did that on their own. So both James and Libby are left on the side from that group. So I find it interesting that we're going to find a tipping point here soon, where I think that the Laurel and Donathan side are going to have to make a decision, and so we'll see how the tribe.
I think when the swap comes, it's going to be major, and it's going to really help particular people's games
for sure.
So, Patty called James the robot, and I kind of do feel he's more robotic, game body.
James is boring. I had more hope for him preseason, and he's just not bringing it.
I had more hopes for him when he was able to point out that Dominic was clearly misleading them, and that they should all vote for Morgan. So I had more hopes for him there, but maybe that was just because he's able to analyze it, but he's not going to be great TV. He might be that behind the scenes kind of guy.
Oh, you know who he might be? Like, oh God, Mark. Not last season, not the season that just passed, the season before from The Amazing Race. Anu, what was his name?
The
Asian guy that was really
Bank.
That's who's a little bit like, where it's just very strategic and there's no big emotions, but
nobody liked him at the end because he was very game body.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's go to the immunity challenge. And what do you guys think of this immunity?
I really liked this immunity challenge. I thought it was fun. I'm not sure if we fully have seen this exact setup before, but as we saw, the teams had to race across the bridge and untie a bag at the end, and then the teams back on the beach had to pull their teammate back to shore on a roped boogie board sort of thing, then open a lock and solve a puzzle. I thought it was fun. I thought it looked exhausting for the people running out there because they had to tug on that rope the whole time because there is still some tension there. I thought it was very interesting that the winning tribe, Navidi, if you notice, fully sat out Donathan and Angela. Did nothing. Didn't do anything the entire time. They didn't run. They didn't pull in the rope because Dominic and James both were on the crank and the puzzle. So
Angela's still in the game, huh?
I'm telling you right now that I don't even know if I saw her.
But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. That on the Malolo side, every single person participated at some role, but Navidi was very strategic and basically potentially sat out Donathan and Angela.
Yeah, like kind of just get out of our way kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
So,
it worked.
no, I liked it. I I didn't know what was gonna happen with Des once she went under the water. I'm like, I would have let go and I would have drowned her because first of all, I can't swim.
See, I don't think
swim?
I don't think she can swim. So I think that's why she did hold on as much.
I would have been dead there.
We were talking about this last week of can Desiree swim because we were talking about for some other challenge. But I think that's why she held on as long as she did. It's because she knew if she did let go, she wasn't coming back up.
They pulled her fast, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to see.
That was
She was
cool.
underwater for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping that I'm gonna continue liking Desi from the little that I've seen from her. I like her, but we haven't had too much to actually say that she's a great player or a good player. Or I hope she. Actually, of course, she's on my team.
She has some fun comments here and there.
Yeah, but she never had to do much. So we'll see.
I think that she's gonna be a pre-jury boot or one of the first in jury.
Well, we're running out of space on that jury trip, so we don't have.
How many spaces do we have left?
I
would say 2 more.
We'll merge at 13. It could be 12, so 2 to 3 more.
Bradshaw Beauty and Blake both say, "Who is Angela?" I almost forgot who
exactly. Angela is. I honestly forgot about her when I was watching the episode, and then I when I was done, I looked at Randy's draft, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, Angela."
I said it last time. I think of Angela from The Office when I see her.
Well, the problem with Angela is not only is she like not involved in like the strategic part of the game right now, but she's also really boring.
Yeah, I was thinking. I know we compare her to Chrissy, but Chrissy made much better TV.
Oh, for sure, sure.
Like her or not, she gave us good TV.
Yeah,
and the thing is with Angela, even her family thought she was going to be the first one out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So here's the thing. What do you guys think about this potential of Chelsea like throwing it like potential Matt singing?
I don't think
it was on purpose.
Intention to throw that.
I think she was just really tired and she just couldn't hang on.
Yeah, I agree.
Let me ask you guys this: did you guys like this version of the slide puzzle?
Yes.
Interesting. It's very interesting to see. It's very new.
And like I said last time, I'm really good at slide puzzles. So I was like, oh my God. You guys are...
I'm not good at normal slide puzzles, but this one I feel like I would have been really good at. This one, I liked this one because I can definitely see this one a lot better than I can do on a normal slide puzzle.
All right. So we got the chat talking about a couple of things for next week. And we'll get back to them once we start talking after the tribal council and all. So Malilla loses this again, and I did hear some people saying that they might have thrown the challenge. I don't think they did. No. I don't see Bradley and Kaylin being someone who would intentionally lose a challenge just because there's
too much of a risk of idols. Where for them not to have, they don't have the numbers to safely split the vote to defend against an idol. So there's too many like weird things that could happen.
And they don't know the dynamics on the other tribe.
Yeah.
So they don't know if their old alliance is going to come back to them in open arms, or did they form alliances with other members and then they're not there anymore? Because they haven't had to lose to really decide who they want to be with. Yet they haven't had.
I don't think a throw happened at all.
No.
Okay.
So Malilla loses. It's their turn to get back to tribal council. What do you guys think of how they went through the process of who they're going to put their votes on?
See, I thought this was really interesting. I want to kind of like set this whole set of scenes up before tribal council because I thought this was really interesting. This is the part of the episode that I really, really enjoyed. So I'm going to kind of go through this here. So we see Kellen and Chelsea talking, decided we're voting for Jenna. Done. Then we kind of see a confessional from Jenna about talking about how people think she's standoffish and she needs to flirt with Sebastian. But then they see Desiree and Sebastian say, no, we're voting for Stephanie. Okay, done. We're voting for Stephanie. Then we see Stephanie kind of trying to work her magic. Then, nope, we're going to vote for Michael. We see this was very much any of them. They all had a storyline that could lead to a boot episode. I thought this was really interesting to see. I think that it was pretty good for them to kind of eliminate Jenna right away because she's pretty useless from getting rid of her, and it really coming down to Stephanie or Michael. I do think one thing that's really big that this stood out to me was that Bradley doesn't have as much power as the outside thinks. Bradley is the one who speaks for them. But if you notice all the times they were talking, the only time Bradley was really involved was when they were thinking Michael. Other than that, it was all the other ones really deciding what was going back and forth of what they were going to do. I thought that was really interesting that he wasn't
letting them think that he's in charge.
Well, I think, they're letting him say, you're the figurehead. Go for it. Be the loud, obnoxious one to the outside. Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think it's great for all the other four of them, especially Desiree and Kellen. I think that's a great move for them. And Chelsea. Honestly, Chelsea is a lot more strategic than I think people are giving her credit, because you see her working in each of those conversations. She's there both saying, I will do what my tribe wants, but I think this should happen. And I think she's quiet, but I'm starting to really like Chelsea.
She's not aggressive in her positions, and I think she's trying to talk people into what she wants to happen, and I think that's kind of brilliant in itself.
She knows she's in a safe spot, so she doesn't want to stand out too loudly and blow up that spot. And I think that, but still, she's working to get her way.
Yeah.
But here, I want to know what you thought of their reasonings, and I had to walk away from the computer for a moment.
No problem.
For getting rid of Jenna. Over, not that they did, but what did you think their reasoning was why they thought she'd be a good person to get out?
Well,
I don't think they thought.
I think they thought that for just a little quick second. And
I'm like, Jenna.
I think their initial thoughts made sense. We need to split up Stephanie and Jenna. Mm-hmm. They are close to. We need to split them up. I think that is a smart decision. But as far as when you're looking at breaking it down between Jenna and Stephanie's more strategic, and they're pretty equal when it comes to challenges, I think. So I think that they made the right decision. I'm very happy with the decision that they made.
Yeah, I'm happy too, because I didn't want to lose Michael. So
Stephanie, to me, was very middle of the road. Like I thought she was awful preseason. She had a good start to the season, but I wasn't fully sold on her. She was kind of annoying to me. The whole let me go cry on the beach and write hope in the sand that maybe this will work. And
that stuff aggravated me.
I felt like she annoyingly played to the camera a little much for my liking.
Or the emotions, like her at Tribal was absolutely awful. For me, it was an awful Tribal for her. In my opinion,
she didn't fight. Well, at least from when we saw Woody, she didn't fight.
Keep me because I have kids. So freaking what? So does other people.
And let me hit one thing before we dig too deep into Tribal Council, because we're almost there. I think the only big thing left is Desiree searching in Stephanie's bag.
Yeah,
this was great. I think this was great. Move. Just make sure that she didn't find anything, pick anything up at Ghost Island. Nope, we're good. I thought that was very bold of Desiree, and she took it.
Yeah.
And she was like, done. She ain't got nothing.
And why weren't the Malolo 3 looking for an idol? Because
I would wonder.
I think they did.
100% they were. They're not going to show us every time someone's looking for an idol, because people are always looking for an idol.
So, so Bradshaw Beauty, when you were talking about what happened here, she said, "Break it down, Randy."
I love Bradshaw Beauty. She's a good Twitter follower.
Patty said that Kaylin in a secret scene said that she realized it wasn't all that bad for them to go back to Tribal, which I mean, I agree with her, but I still don't believe that they threw that challenge.
Yeah, agreed.
Bradshaw Beauty said it looked like the three, Chelsea, Des, and Sebastian, were talking about what they wanted to do, and Chelsea related info to Kaylin. Could Kaylin and Bradley be on the bottom of the Nvidia group?
Yeah, or Chelsea's the swing between the two sides.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's the question. I don't know which one it is.
I think that Laurel and Jonathan have a really great
connection.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm going there. I'm losing my focus.
No, you're good.
We'll get back to the rest of the people. Blake says, "Am I the only one that loves Stephanie?" But
Yes.
Bradshaw Beauty says she loved her too.
No,
Hey, I like Stephanie.
and
We'll
I would have definitely rather have seen, Bradley, Chelsea, or probably even Kaylin. I know you all love her. I'm not on her yet. Go home. But I look at the look I get from Randy because I don't love who he loves.
I love Kellen, and honestly, even though I've been very vocal of my Bradley hate, I don't want to see Bradley go. I think Bradley is a fun character. I really like seeing him on there. I like rooting against him.
He's good TV.
He's great.
Blake says he really loves him as a character. I don't know if he likes him as a.
But when you come for my Kellen or Laurel, I'm gonna give you a look if you come for either of them.
I love Laurel. So
I'm sorry.
But can you'll have to tell me why you think Kellen's so amazing.
Love Kellen.
Why?
I have a soft spot in my heart for the nerdy puzzle makers.
But tell me, other than her nerdy puzzle making skills,
her general excitement for the game
at this game.
Hang on, I'm getting there. Her general excitement for the game, just how much she is working every time and working behind the scenes, and I love seeing the plays that she's making. She's made a lot of small strategic plays throughout the game, and I've really enjoyed her.
How you felt about Stephanie is how I feel about her. I just don't think that she's as great as everybody gives her credit for. I think she's, average at best.
I'm
middle of the pack.
I had this fight with someone else on Twitter today, so I'm already prepared fighting for Kellen. I love Kellen.
Excuse me.
Wow,
sorry.
did you fall asleep, Mark?
I think I did.
Very late. It's very late for Mark here.
Yeah, who were we talking about again? Kellen?
I don't even know.
Yeah, well, she's there. She's kind of there.
Yep. Boring.
We're gonna give Mark the final words for.
No, we didn't talk
No. Let's go through Tribal Council. Let's go through Tribal.
We gotta go through Tribal.
I mean, to me, nothing really happened in Tribal.
Nothing happened.
No, they each pled their case. Like, that's really it. To me, the only thing that stood out to me at Tribal Council was there was one point in time where they gave away who was going home, in my opinion. And it was the fact that when Stephanie was talking, Kellen started to cry. She was wiping away tears because she felt bad. That was the only thing to me that during Tribal Council that really kind of say, okay, it's Stephanie. Like, I know for sure now.
I'll tell you this. I think Kellen's a very nice person.
I'm not even trying to defend Kellen anymore.
I know, but I wouldn't say that because I did see the tears. And I did see that she felt bad because I don't think it's easy. But I want to touch on something that Jenna said at Tribal. And she had mentioned, I have this, this tough exterior, and I have to let people in that are going to stab me in the back and vote me out. And that's hard. And I thought that was a great statement from her, because if you have up these walls and then you let someone in, the whole part of it is for them to stab you in the back. And
Do you think the Starfish Alliance actually helped her, or do you think they just thought it was useless to get rid of her?
I think it was useless to get rid of her.
Yeah, she hasn't done enough. I don't think she's a bad player, but Stephanie was a better player.
Well, and one thing I think what Jenna shows there is being able to see how other people are perceiving you is a huge thing on Survivor.
Yeah.
And if you can see that, that's such a skill. Right. That's one thing that I think that Jenna really showed there.
And she didn't make excuses for it. Like, she owned it. And Michael, again, is really good at Tribal, how he said, listen, I know you're going to keep the numbers no matter what, but how many of these challenges do you want to lose? I thought he was great. And Stephanie played the sympathy card, and that does nothing, even though your mind is usually made up when you go to Tribal. But there are times in Tribal where it's changed and people have changed their vote.
Yeah, there was no chatter starting and everything, and you knew they had their mindset
Stephanie
before going
said
in.
in an interview that she knew she was going when they went to tribals. She had known it. Then they asked her why she didn't look for an idol, and she said she didn't.
Let me rephrase. Let me add one thing in there though. She also was 100% sure she was going home last week. So I think that Stephanie's very much of like, oh, it's me. It's me. It's 100% me at all times.
And if this is
that's
what
the reason why Michael played it on her and not Brendan last week. Because
even though Brendan was sure that he was going home last week.
Exactly. They were both fighting. And if you hear Stephanie's exit interview, that's basically her and Brendan were in Michael's ear all day saying, it's me, it's me, it's me. Even after Kellen basically told Brendan it's going to be him, Stephanie still was convinced it was her. And that I think that I think that she's very much the sky is falling. I'm the biggest threat. It saved me. And I think but don't get me wrong. I didn't hate Stephanie, but I think that just if she knew it was her, she always kind of knew it was her.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So let's, at the end of the day, I feel the only one that really fought for their spot was Michael saying, I'm loyal. I don't think Jenna or Stephanie really did anything that would have helped them stay. I know that they tried to plead their case, but I don't think any of that what they said changed anything. Stephanie was booted because I feel the original Navidi feel like she was the more dangerous one of the three.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark, final words.
And I think Michael is the most dangerous of the three. I don't think it's Stephanie, by the way.
Of course. So we lose Stephanie at this point in the game. Going into the game, a lot of people, like almost 90% of the general public, thought she was just some crazy girl who was kind of extra that wore crazy tights. But throughout these first 5 episodes, we saw that there is a little bit of game in her, and that she was fighting hard. This has been ever since the show started, that this has been a dream of hers, and you can see how hard she's trying to play the game and to try to provide good TV, and we do appreciate that. The paranoia did get to her though, and that's kind of her downfall, starting from last week. And we lost somebody that could have given us a great merge game. So that's kind of where I stand. And so the Navidi 5 is kind of dead to me. So whatever, they could go.
So I was completely wrong about Stephanie in a way. I thought she was going to be a Katrina type of player or a type of what's her name, Deb type of player. I honestly thought that's what she was going to be, and I think most of the people preseason thought that she was going to be that way as well. The only person that I heard didn't see her that way was Gonzalez. And surprise, surprise, Steph is the reason why Gonzalez is the first boot. Mm-hmm. Because in Brendan, if you guys heard Brendan's exit interview, they said Jenna was going to be the first person voted out, but Steph started lobbying for Gonzalez to be the first boot, and Brendan was scared of Stephanie causing too much chaos, so they went with her plan. Yeah. So that's why I say I feel like I stand by my pick, Gonzalez, because and the first episode I did say I give that boot of Gonzalez to Stephanie. I really do feel that she was the one. Mm-hmm. And then, just being able to get information from Jacob, get information from here. And I think she played well, but I don't think she played great. She played well enough for me to change my mind completely from what I originally thought, but I don't know if she would have made it too far. But at the same time, she could have destroyed some games if she could have continued. I don't know. So yeah, I think I prefer Jenna to go home, but at the same time, I didn't want Steph out there to possibly ruin the game for someone else that I like.
That's kind of what I said, because her paranoia, had she gone down far enough, her paranoia could have caused other people paranoia, and that could have generated enough chaos so that she can stay in the game long enough, like towards the end of the game. So that's kind of how I felt about her.
So we did have some chatter going on in the chat room about asking who would you guys think would have come back. I guess from the first couple of episodes that happened already. If any of them would come back, if you had to choose one person, who would you choose? If you had to choose one person,
who I want to be back, or who I think should come back.
Who you think would come back?
I personally liked Morgan. I was a fan of Morgan. So I would choose her. I don't want to see
the only one.
I don't need to see any of them back though, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I feel like she would be the only one that I feel like I didn't get to see more.
Yeah, she won't come back. But
no.
I would.
She might be the Wentworth comeback, but I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Someone said Jacob, and
no.
Randy ranted on.
We don't do it on Jacob.
Why isn't Doug here?
I don't know.
He might have a life. I don't know.
So Patty says, can we talk about the fact that Stephanie Johnson leaving means that the legacy advantage is now safe with Dominic?
Yep.
Which
she confirmed in exit interview. She told no one.
Awesome.
So
wow.
Dominic is now the only person who is aware. Well, he told Laurel. No, he didn't. No, he told Laurel about her. About his idol. He didn't tell her about the legacy.
And you really think that he's going to keep this quiet?
No.
I think he'll keep the legacy quiet. I don't think whatever else.
He loves to tell people that he has advantages and idols and stuff. No way.
I don't think if he's going to last to Final 6. I think he'll last to Final 13.
He's taking it all.
He's not going to use it because I don't think he'll need to.
He's taking it all.
No, there's no way. There's no way. So you can dream on.
I would though.
Hey, that's what everybody said about Sarah. So
I would love if he goes and gives it to Laurel, but just saying.
I think he'll give it to Wendell before he gives it to Laurel.
Yeah. You think he'll give it to Wendell? Maybe.
Yeah. Everyone said the same thing about Sarah, and she won. She was also the only person I had left, right? But still.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I'm going to go into our draft.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't have to, but whatever.
So here's our draft, and I am in the lead with 70 points with 5 very strong people: James, Sebastian, Kellen, Laurel, and Libby. Kim is in second with 61 points with Wendell, Jenna, Michael, and Chris. Mark is in third with 3 left and 53 points with Bradley, Angela, and Chelsea.
Big no-go.
And then Saul is 1 point behind in fourth with 52. With Dominic, Donathan, and Desiree. And I want to state that Mark and Saul got to pick first. That our rank right now is the exact opposite order that we got to pick in. So I just want to remind everyone that one.
Whatever.
Thanks for that, Mark.
Whatever.
I should get points for getting screwed over when I go.
Wait, but I want to say that I do believe that Randy and I do have really 2 strong teams.
Oh yeah,
we're not denying that.
Like I said, I still stand by my team.
Yeah, you still stand by my team. By your sucking
no,
team.
No.
No, I like Morgan and Stephanie Gonzalez preseason. I thought they were both going to be good.
Yeah, I
stand by my team as well. I stand by my picks as well, but I wouldn't cry if they go.
I can't side with you, Mark.
I'm telling you right now. Absolutely not.
I think you got all the pariahs. Mark.
I will give it to Saul that I did not think Gonzalez or Morgan would go so early.
Yeah.
But there's no one on your team that is going to win. I mean, you don't even know that Angela and Chelsea are in the game.
I know, exactly. So that's why I said I wouldn't cry a tear if they all go. Not a single one.
I do think that it's going to probably come down to Randy or myself who will end up winning. And it might be Randy because he really has some great people.
I think I really like your Wendell and Michael picks, but I think I have more of them that maybe will go further, but someone else may have the winner, but I think I may have like the combined like longevity that might win the game.
I think your longevity is definitely Laurel.
I think so too.
Without question, she might be a winner. I will give you that. I don't know about James, and I'm not knocking him at all because we're basing all this on preseason. he's just very boring and basic, and I just don't know if he could go far enough in the game before people just be like, well, he's not really contributing that much. So we can.
He's not that social. He's not socially adaptable to really go far in the game. And I think this next week is gonna make or break him.
The tribe swap is what Michael needs so freaking bad.
He needed it so bad.
So I'm really, really happy. And, I sometimes wonder when, does production decide, you know what? We really need to do a swap here because this is getting boring. And there's no fun when it's just you're picking people off and there's no chance. Like, there's no fighting.
I think the swap was going to happen no matter what.
Oh, 100.
No, I knew it was going to happen no matter what. But would it have happened this week, or would they have waited another week?
No,
if they would have done that, they would have done it last week. I think.
Yeah. To do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you think they're going
Blake
to 3,
Laurel
right?
Wins.
Oh, 100% going to 3.
Yeah, I do too. Blake thinks Laurel will win, and Bradshaw Beauty says that Donathan will win with a hot take that I will win the draft, but I won't win the draft. But I think I can see Donathan making it to the end, and
I think Donathan is a good pick. I think that he's well liked amongst everybody. He is paired with Laurel for now, and that's real good. I don't know if he'll win, but he will definitely make jury without question, and not a first boot jury either.
My only chance is if Donathan and Dez each find an advantage, and I get a. Do we get points for advantages now? I don't even know.
If they find an advantage, they would get a point.
And they just continue to find them, and maybe I can get some extra.
You know what? You're best to win, and you lost. And it stunk for you.
My last pick was the one that went, and my second pick is the one that's left. So like I said, I stand by my team.
Yeah, go for it.
Listen, Mark can't defend his team.
Into the water.
I don't know how
goes down with the ship.
I don't know how you go from winning the Survivor draft to picking what you picked.
Whatever. You're supposed to be my girl.
No, we
Mark.
I can't be you're backstabbing me like this right now, Kim.
Mark definitely has chosen the worst people from the other draft, but he won. Last time he won.
This is gonna be the Bash on Mark season. No. This is great.
No. Like I said last time, he chose the worst team the season he won.
Yeah,
he did. He chose the worst team then too.
I did.
But they all ended up staying really deep.
How many points did he beat me by? Not many though, just a few, right?
You guys were fairly close.
Yeah, it was close, but yeah, I wouldn't mind losing this season.
I've come in last and second to last.
Don't worry. I don't think you have to worry about that, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Whatever, Randy. You don't get to talk trash.
I think we've gone into a deep rabbit hole here now.
I think this tribe swap is going to be really helpful for Randy or I when it comes.
I think it'll be good for the season too.
Who was the MVP of the episode, guys?
Michael, because he talked his way out of getting voted out.
Yep.
Long and the short of it, I think he was such a huge threat after that last tribal council. Everyone saw that he was a player, and he convinced that group to not vote him out.
Yep, I'm going to go with you.
Better.
I'm picking Michael again. I picked him last week, even though it didn't work. I'm picking Michael again. I think he is, and he keeps up with his lie, which is great. Like he said 13. I mean, people at home said, is he really 18? That's how well he keeps up with this lie.
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll choose it I'll choose Michael only because I feel like he's the only one that did anything of the bottom three from what we saw.
Yeah.
If I had to choose someone from the video, I would go with what Blake said with Chris because
I would have said Chris too.
I think so
that
too.
Reward challenge,
he
dropped. Yeah, wow.
Between the reward challenge and his time with Donathan, I think that's fair.
Okay, guys.
Mark
next week we'll drop our buffs.
Wait, no, Mark needs to pick his. Don't punish him for his draft picks.
We share birthday, Saul. How dare you? My MVP this week is gonna go to Laurel. just because I don't want to pick anybody from Malolo.
Low.
Yeah, I'm a low.
Oh my gosh.
She you can see her social game. You can see how she's trying to get into everything without everybody, turning the spotlight onto her. And it just felt natural how she interacted with her tribe mates and with the Donathan and Chris situation. And I think this is how she's gonna go far in the game. So I think Laurel's in a very good spot right now.
I just want to throw that out there. If you guys have not been paying listening to the Wiggle Room,
Oh my gosh.
with the wand off.
Oh my god!
I listened to so many of those this past week.
I heard.
Poor you.
Randy got a shout out in the Wiggle Room.
Yeah.
So,
I have to listen to a lot of low.
The one that I enjoyed the most
low.
The Donathan one. Say something. I'll subtitle you.
Oh, from last week. Yeah, that was a good.
That was a great one. But anyways, you guys, we're once again going off topic here. They're gonna drop our buffs next week. We'll go ahead and I'm pretty sure we're gonna go through 3 like we already said. And I want to go ahead and thank you all, and I want to thank the panel here with Randy, Mark, and Kim for helping me out when I wasn't able to join you guys in the chat. I mean,
I'm glad you survived Ghost Island.
Well, barely.
Now we can vote you out.
But we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll have a pretty good episode to go ahead and talk about.
Sounds good.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.